Hello, this is Guy Clapperton, Media Mentor, with your Tuesday tip. On Thursday, the UK will be going into lockdown again, but it won't affect me directly on day one because I'll be helping people with their media relations and interview practice in Denmark, and Spain, and Eastern Europe, and the UK. And in 2 weeks' time, I'll be speaking to people about media relations and making an impact on the press in South Africa. This is all virtual. Of course, it's all virtual. You knew that. So this week's media tip is all about talking to people in different countries, possibly from different language groups. And I'd like to divide it into 3 tips. The first one is always speak slowly and clearly. I know there's the caricatured image of the British person saying, if you speak slowly and loudly enough, they will understand you. That is, of course, not true. But if you speak too quickly or too quietly, and they've got cheap earphones, and you can't possibly know what equipment they're using on the end of the line, they certainly will not understand you. So be clear and don't go too quickly. The second tip is about if you happen to be using an interpreter. If you're lucky enough to have that facility, don't forget there will be a gap between what you say and when it is assimilated by the audience. A few years ago, I was in Italy doing this presentation, and I made what I thought was a pretty good joke about Silvio Berlusconi. I pronounced it correctly at the time. The audience went very quiet indeed. I thought they hate it. They hate the English person making a joke about their ex-prime minister. I'm going to die. Professionally, at least. I made a serious point, and then they started laughing in the middle of that. And I realized they did find it funny, but I hadn't allowed any time for the interpreter to catch up. So don't forget, if you're using an interpreter, as they say in Embankment Station and elsewhere on the London Underground, mind the gap. Third point actually relates to that. I just made a point and mentioned the London Underground. So Londoners will have got it. People from elsewhere in the UK will probably be vaguely familiar with the concept, or they'll understand the concept, of course, but they might not know the station. And people internationally will be thinking, what on earth is he talking about? So my third point is never ever forget that any cultural references you might use will throw the audience just as efficiently as if you were speaking too quickly or if the interpreter didn't understand what you were saying. It's not just about the language. So I hope those little points are helpful. And if you wanted any more help with your presentations or with your media relations, please do get in touch via my assistant, Nikki@clapperton.co.uk. Thank you very much. See you next week. Bye.